fusion in my Dragon Ball. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Mosede Hajime, and today we are back with another Dragon Ball Daima review video. In the last 2 weeks since I recorded my last one, we've gotten episodes 3 and 4, which is how I think I want to do these from now on. I think I'm just going to do 2 episodes at a time because for now, plot is moving kind of slowly. They're just kind of, what's called, still setting things up. There's still a lot of world building going on and whatnot. Honestly, I'm okay with that for now, but maybe when the episodes start ramping up, maybe we actually start getting some like lore and plot and stuff like that. Some big drops, really. Maybe I might start doing the videos episode by episode, but for now we're just gonna stick with the formula of just doing 2 episodes every other week, I think, and then that's kind of the pace I'm happy with for now. With that intro out of the way, let's get into episode 3 first. So I had to go back and I had to rewatch these episodes and then kind of write down notes to just remember what happened. So honestly, the general idea of this one is that they kind of just explore the demon world. This is like the first time that you see the demon world up front, up close, and they just kind of show you all the aspects about it. They do a lot of world building in this episode, so much so to the point where I had to write these down and just kind of point out things that stuck out to me the most. So they go to this what's called demon world, and the way that they get there was through that portal with the fish guy, and obviously it's very like Toriyama or like Dragon Ball kind of joke where they make like, oh, you look like a goldfish. Like I could literally feel that joke coming before it even came out. And I was like, yeah, that's just kind of the thing. They have that big ass fish who just takes them and then he just shits them out their asshole and they end up, that sounded graphic as hell, but they end up on the other side of the, what do you call it, demon realm, straight from Earth or the universe that they're in. And then they explain that there's 3 demon worlds, and then they got to like work their way up to the first one, which is how I think that they want to, again, their plan is not really clear. They're just like, we're just gonna go to the demon world and beat up Goma and get back Dende. And then what? Like, they don't really make it clear. They kind of have a plan in episode 4, but we'll talk about that later. But for now, they're in the demon world and they kind of set up a lot of stuff. For one, they mentioned that the air is super thick and like it's gonna be hard to fight. It's gonna be like, it smells gassy or some weird statement that they make there. I don't know about you guys, but I keep feeling like they keep restricting these characters every episode. The first episode, it was like, oh, they're children. Second episode, it's like, oh, they can't use their ki properly. Then the third episode, it's like, oh, this gas is making them slow and hard to fight. Like, it feels like they're just trying their hardest to make like these characters as nerfed as possible. If this was like Super, where they're on like God level and stuff like that, I would be like, yeah, this makes sense. But like, as far as Z goes, it's kind of like they don't need to nerf them that much, in my eyes anyway. They're still obviously like powerful characters who can do like bench press a planet, but they're still like, it's still a bit weird to me that they keep nerfing them every single episode. Regardless, they kind of go and they explore like the 3rd demon world. They make it seem like it's like an RPG level. This whole thing feels very Dragon Quest. The designs of all the monsters, the like settings and the town, the color, everything looks Dragon Quest. And yeah, I know Dragon Quest was designed by Akira Toriyama himself, but it just feels like it way more than it feels like Dragon Ball. Like at one point I was just expecting a complete cameo from a Dragon Quest character. I don't even know which one, but just a one. Well, I think I'll get back to the plot a bit, or some things that I wrote down. Supreme Kai gets called a Glind, which is like, this episode that just sounded racist. It's like, you're a Glind, aren't you? This whole episode is just riddled with like racism, basically. Like, the idea that like Goku's getting, what do you call it, picked on or like called out because he doesn't have demon ears, which is super dumb. Supreme Kai gives it to him on the way there. That's how they get past the goldfish, and then it just comes off. I'm like, why would you just not let him keep it? That way they just stop running to as much trouble. But for some reason it just goes away, and I'm like, why would you not just give it back to him? Just let him have it the whole series. He's already small, just give him the ears. What does it matter? Like, this is just a whole new design. So yeah, that's basically how it works. Oh yeah, I guess there's like a plot point that's definitely going to come back later when they're talking to the fish. He's talking about, oh yeah, Kibito needs the code and they couldn't give it to him. So I bet that's going to end up playing a big role later on. But for now, it's nothing really. So yeah, that's basically episode 3. They have a cool bar fight scene at the end. And oh no, I forgot about my favorite scene in the entire, so far in the entire show. My favorite scene is Glorio pulling out the strap on the bartender or the guy and trying to haggle with him. That shit's hilarious. I love Glorio for that, and I like him more and more with every episode, which is, I think that's obviously their intention. But so far right now, I love Glorio. I love everything he's kind of is. He's kind of like this, I don't even know what to call him, like a bad boy almost, or like, what's like the term for it, like a rogue, I guess. But he's kind of like playing by his own rules, and they keep trying to throw some subtle hints that he's like not telling the truth, because every time he says something, you'll just get Supreme Kai making the meanest like stank face in the background, just kind of like, you say you work for the Third King, I got you. Hey, you say your name Gloria, like just basically keep making the faces and keeps making remarks. And yeah, so yeah, for now, I love Glorio. I love what he is about, and I think the series is doing a really good job with him. So yeah, they do that cool, like they, getting at a bar, Glorio orders them drinks and whatnot, and then they have a bar fight. The bar fight was shown off in the trailer, and it looks honestly really good. I'm really happy with the way Daima looks, especially right now anyway. I'm sure it'll look even cooler when they actually start doing some big action fights, but for now, it's very like normal. It's very nice to have this kind of quality animation. So that bar fight ends up with the Goku beating their ass. Typically, like that's how a lot of these fights are gonna go, I assume. And in retort, they steal Glorio's ship, and then the episode ends. So yeah, a bit of a slower episode. I feel like I kind of went over it very fast, but that's just kind of what happens in episode 3, and it flows perfectly right into episode 4, which is them just trying to find a way to get around, I guess, to go and meet up with the third Demon World King, which is, I think, their plan right now. Again, I rewatched this episode to try to get a grasp on what their plan is. They kind of go over a little bit, which is like that they're gonna gather up the Demon World Dragon Balls, I think wish for Dende to come back, and then go back to Earth and use the Earth's Dragon Balls to make themselves bigger again. Which, like, that plan is super dumb to me. Why would they do that? Why not? I guess there's like the weird thing that they can't use the Earth's Dragon Ball for a year. Like, the Dragon Balls are stone now because of Neva, I think is his name, in the first episode, where he gets all the Dragon Balls and makes them all small. So they can't even use the Earth's Dragon Balls for another year, which seems a bit silly to me, that they're just like, yeah, we'll just go home and wish for it again. You guys are gonna be children for a year if that's the plan. So again, yeah, that plan is weird, but enough. I gotta go back to the beginning of this episode and just talk about it. The episode starts off with them finding a way to like get to like a new ship, or a new way to get around, basically, and they just fly. And for some reason, for me, it looked really weird that Gloria could just fly. Like, I don't know why. The idea that he could just fly seemed super weird to me, but I guess it just makes sense. It shouldn't be weird, but it just is to me. So then they find a ship, they go to a shop, and they basically, Gloria's trying to haggle with somebody again, using his tactics that just haggle and whatnot, get himself a lower price for like a flying seat, I think is what they called it. And then basically from there, they're at basically what is an item shop, because Goku and Supreme Kai are being taken around, they're looking at stuff, and they come across what is basically healing items. And then the biggest start of this entire episode, like the thing people are harping on to the most, which is the fusion bug, which you can't have Dragon Ball without some cool transformations or fusion or something that is gonna let them sell toys or sell DLC in games and stuff like that. Honestly, I'm all up for it. I don't quite understand how it works, because on the picture it shows 3, and then when I rewatched it, the lady says you gotta give 1/2 to a person. Now, who's to say it's gonna be, or yeah, the lady says that it's only 2 fusees needed, but who's to say it's even gonna be Goku Vegeta? I think that's where everyone's minds kind of went immediately, was we're gonna get like a Goku Vegeta mini fuse into Gogeta mini or Vegito mini. So yeah, but like, who's to say it won't just be Glorio and Goku, or Glorio and Supreme Kai, or Goku and, I don't know, nobody. Like, it's just a bit weird that like that's where all our minds go to, but honestly, it's okay. So like, that just gives us something to look forward to in the future, I guess. I think it's gonna be cool. I can't wait to see where they go with that kind of stuff. So they do that, and then after that, that's where they explain the plan, but I kind of already went over it. And then they come into the town of, I don't know if they ever said the town's name, but they basically stumble upon this town, and this town is being like oppressed by Goma, because Goma's the new king, and he basically wants, I think, life force energy from all these people, or their coins. He wants their coins. If they don't give up the coins, they take their life force energy. And you can already see that the energy is like halfway up. I don't know what they're using that for. They'll probably explain that later on. But if that's for Goma, then I assume that it's like, this is kind of his way of getting energy and building it up to like what's probably gonna be a final form, or like some big villain at the end. That's probably gonna have something cool to do with the plot. Again, a lot of speculation is just gonna happen in this episode, but yeah, it's just a lot of world building. So yeah, those what do you call it, like military men, they start getting all those elder people and whatnot. They take their life force. Goku steps in, he fights all the bad guys, he beats them up, but before he can step in, there's like a masked fighter who like comes in, a tiny ass masked fighter comes in, and then like kind of deals with them before Goku gets a chance to. But then they just ultimately fail, and then Goku steps in. I explained that really bad. But yeah, so there's a fighter who gets in, fights the soldiers, and then Goku kind of helps out and cleans it up a bit. And then she takes off her mask, and it's revealed to be Pansy, the other character that we were introduced in the trailer of the show. So it's Gloria and Pansy. I remember her name from the trailer. So honestly, nice fight, nice animation. I assumed that the masked fighter and Pansy were two separate fighters because I think they're somewhere in the intro. But honestly, I don't really care. It's like, it's cool that it's one person. So yeah, that's another new character, and that kind of summarizes the plot for like the 4th episode. So again, I'm really excited to see where Daima goes. I would give these episodes like a nice 6 out of 10. Both of them, I would guess. Because yeah, it's a lot of just world building setup. I have a lot of fun watching these episodes though, so I don't mind the kind of slow pace and whatnot that they have. I'm just happy we have Dragon Ball back. So that's kind of going to be it for my review video to you guys. If you guys enjoy, like, comment, subscribe. And with that out of the way, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.